Nevada. Everyone in my office is licensed in all 50 states, just like I am. We're direct to consumer. I'm America's annuity agent, the top independent agent in the country. We represent pretty much every carrier out there. So we're quoting all carriers for the highest contractual guarantee. If you don't know this by now, you're getting ready to. We only look at contractual guarantees. Income riders are contractual guarantees. You own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. Okay, so we're going to talk about only the will do. A couple more things. You can go to my site at theannuityman.com, run quotes 24/7, 365, and you can run income rider quotes there as well. And you can also schedule a call, a free consultation. It doesn't cost you anything, and we use our ears and mouth in proportion 2-to-1. We listen to you. Nothing's high pressure. That's how we do business. Before we get going, everyone always asks, hey, Stan, how do I get one of these hats? Clients get them automatically. If you're a client watching this, shoot me an email at stan@theannuityman.com. We'll send you a hat. It comes in this really fancy bag that Zeke designed with my logo all over it. It's pretty cool. But for clients, you get it for free. If you're not a client, you want to be a client, you can send me an email at stan@theannuityman.com and make your case why you need this hat that I wear all the time. Carolina Blue, because I'm originally from North Carolina. So we look forward to hearing from you. And if you're an advisor, an agent on this call, do me a favor, be a professional, and don't ask questions. If you want to ask a question, just shoot me an email, stan@theannuityman.com. Appreciate you being on, but don't clutter things. Or do your own live event, I guess. So let's talk about income riders. One last thing, and I just remembered it. I've also written what's called an income rider owner's manual. It's on my site at theannuityman.com. You can get that for free as well. I think it's about a 60-page read. I'm not going to write a novel. I just get to the point and get to the facts. So income riders. What is an income rider, Stan, the annuity man? Well, rider is the key word. It rides on top of a policy. Okay, and typically income riders are either attached to variable annuities or fixed index annuities. We don't sell variable annuities. I'm just not a fan of them, so we don't sell them. We only sell fixed annuities. So the income riders that we offer and recommend and that you'll quote on our site are attached to indexed annuities. Now, we're not huge fans of indexed annuities because they're oversold. They're nothing more than a CD product that'll protect your principal. They are not a market return product regardless of what you hear out there. But look at it like this. If you draw a line down a blank sheet of paper, this side is the indexed annuity side. Caps, spreads, participation rates, all that nonsense that can change at the carrier discretion on this side. But this side is the income rider side. That's what we're talking about today. That's the contractual guarantee of the policy. Two separate calculations, okay? So Zeke, let's get some questions going if there's any in there. And I've got some that people have sent in previous that I can go through. So let me do those first. One of the things people ask is, what's with the income rider roll-up rate? Okay, so remember, draw a line down the blank sheet of paper, and the Johnny Appleseed agent locally said, well, I can get you an 8% yield. No, Johnny agent cannot. What that means is the income rider side, that calculation, increases by 8%. Stop for a second, take a deep breath. That's not yield. You can't cash it in. You can't peel it off. You can't ask for it in a lump sum. It's going to grow by that amount, okay, until you turn on the income. And once you turn on the income stream, that phantom high percentage number, okay, goes away. Think of it similar to Social Security, which is the other annuity that you own. It increases by a certain amount during the deferral time period, 8%, whatever. Similar, but it's not yield, okay, but it increases that income rider amount by that amount. So when someone says, I can get you a 25% upfront bonus and a 10% roll-up rate, please don't jump out of your chair and go, hallelujah, because if it sounds too good to be true, it is every single time. All right, let's talk about the bonus that Johnny Appleseed agent is talking about. There's no philanthropist at annuity company. There's nobody waking up in the morning going, you know what? I'm going to give money away. I'm going to give money away today to the United States public. Doesn't happen like that. There's 100 pennies in the dollar. So upfront bonus, and I say this in a joking fashion, don't take it personally, it's candy for the stupid. If you're dumb enough to think that some annuity company is just giving money away, they're not, okay? It's part of the overall contractual guarantee. So when you run quotes on our site, okay, we're looking at all income riders, the ones that have bonuses, the ones that don't have bonuses, doesn't matter to us. the ones with high roll-up rates, the ones with non-high roll-up rates. It doesn't matter. What matters is the number, the income number that's going to pay you for the rest of your life, period. That's called the payout rate. It's a numerical reflection of your life expectancy according to that issuing life insurance company. But that's never shown, okay? So what we found, and I've been doing this a long time. I know you're saying you look young, Stan, but I'm not. The high bonus products, typically, where are they going to take it away? They're going to take away it at the payout rate, all right? Another thing, inflation, Stan. How about inflation? This guy told me that his annuity increased with inflation. Well, once again, if it sounds too good to be true, it is every single time. Let's do a visual, okay? So for people that are going to be listening to this as they're driving their Ferrari down the interstate, here's what I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, okay? So let's say here's an income rider without an increase. For the people driving their Ferrari, my hand is over my ball cap, okay? And then here's the income rider starting point, the income starting point with the index annuity that has, they say, well, it's going to increase with inflation every time the index annuity goes up and it increases. They don't give that away. It's a huge difference. They just lower the initial payout rate to make up for that. Once again, if it sounds too good to be true, it is every single time. Going to take a question. We're going to jump right in because this thing goes quickly. And here's the question. If I'm just looking at what the contractual monthly income stream would be, why would it matter if it's fixed or variable? Good question. Let's stop right there. What I found is historically, the fixed index annuities with an income rider offer a higher guaranteed payout on the income rider. I'm not just saying that because I don't sell variable annuities. It's the truth. And the reason for that, in my opinion, variable annuity, that's mutual funds wrapped with an insurance policy, right? You have a lot more upside potential with variable annuities. I guess that's the sales pitch. But the point is, what we found historically is the income rider, the contractual guarantee of that policy attached to an index annuity is higher than variable annuity. So let's look at the next. Shouldn't I just be looking at the highest monthly amount? The answer is absolutely. So you can look at variable annuities, and there's 4 types of income riders that are attached to a variable annuity. It's very complex. My income rider owner's manual will explain all that, even though we don't sell variable annuities, but I'm trying to educate you. But yes, you're going to look for the highest contractual guarantee. People always call me up and say, Stan, what's your best annuity or what's your best income rider? I can do that because I'm from the South, North Carolina originally. There is no best. The best is the highest contractual guarantee for your specific situation. Remember, we only ask 2 questions here at the Annuity Man to every single person, even the FedEx driver that walks in. What do you want the money to contractually do, and when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? That's it. From those 2 answers, let's just take an income rider quote. Stan, I want lifetime income. Okay, when do you want it to start? 7 years from now, or 5 years from now, or 3 years from now, okay? Then we put that in. You can put that in the calculator yourself, and you're going to see those companies pop up. Now, understand that income rider payout amounts, they're just glancing at the Fed. The Fed is about a 20% price part of the pricing, not 100, around 20%, if that. Your life expectancy, or if it's joint life expectancies, drive the pricing train. The older you are, the higher the payment. The younger you are, the lower the payment. It's really that simple, okay? So don't make it difficult. Don't say, well, I'm going to try to time this thread the needle with the Fed. Then you're missing the point, because the Fed does not affect this. Annuity companies are trying to attract your age range, okay? So if someone's finishing at the top, they want your age range, period, end of story. They're filling their tranches of age ranges like you have your portfolio with small cap, large cap, mid cap, value, international. They're looking at, all right, 62 to 65, 65 to 75, or whatever their tranches are they're trying to fill. Once they fill that tranche, then their guarantees lower on our quote machine. Why? Because they don't want to attract you. It's really that simple. So getting back to the inflation thing, and I want to cover that before I get to the next question. There's no annuity on the planet that addresses inflation. Annuity companies don't give that away. The best inflation annuity on the planet is Social Security, because politicians give that away. It's not actuarial, it's political, okay? So the way to solve inflation, my opinion, okay, is at the time you need that gap filled of your income floor. Income floor is Social Security, pension if you're so fortunate, your RMDs, which is forced IRA, all that money that's coming in, Okay, if you have a gap, then we can buy an immediate annuity at that time, reverse engineer it for that specific dollar amount. Once again, I encourage you to go to my site, theannuityman.com, run the quote, schedule call, download the books, and obviously you're on my YouTube page, and we dominate this space because it's educational and edutainment. You can go down the rabbit hole of any product type that you're looking at. Let's look at the next question. It said, it would help if you could draw both sides with the real situation. Let me tell you the reason we don't do that. I've done that in the past, been in this rodeo for 30 years. Once I put something on the screen, then people think that's all we have. I know you're saying, no, that can't be right. People can't be that opaque. Okay, yeah, they kind of are. So what we would rather you do is go to the site, run the quotes yourself, or schedule a call. We can run them for you, or send me an email at stan@theannuityman.com, and I'll take care of it for you personally, me and my assistant. So that's the reason we don't show anything on the screen. Number one, it's evergreen content. Okay, so 5 years from now, it's irrelevant. So someone seeing it might think that's it, that's the payout. These quotes change like a gallon of milk. Every 7 to 10 days, they expire. So you have to you can lock them in and go through the application process. We'll talk about that down the road if that's where you want to go. But, I mean, if I put it on the screen, then 10 years from now, it's still on the screen. I'd rather you go and see a live quote, and it'll be emailed to you. No one's going to call you. No one's going to chase you down. We're not a hammer looking for a nail. One thing before I get to the next question, Zeke. Someone asked me a question the other day, and I just did a video on it, so you'll see it come up in about a week or so. How does artificial intelligence affect annuities, and in this case, income riders? Remember, income riders are primarily priced on your life expectancy at the time you take the payment. The older you are, the higher the payment. There's no ROI until you die. As long as you are breathing, they're going to pay. But I want to throw this out to you right now. And this isn't some sales pitch. You know me better than that. I don't play like that. Artificial intelligence, good or bad, a lot of people hate it, a lot of people like it, whatever. But the way it's going to affect annuities is artificial intelligence is going to really drastically affect in a positive way medical research, medical breakthroughs. It's going to shorten that curve. And what's that going to have? It's going to lengthen life expectancies. Okay? Right now, these life expectancy tables don't reflect that potential and future and coming soon artificial intelligence breakthroughs in the medical community. I think the life expectancy tables are in your favor. The lifetime income quotes are in your favor. And once you contractually lock it in, that carrier is on the hook to pay regardless of how long you live, even if the life expectancy tables change after you purchase it. That's someone else's problem that buys it then. It's not your problem because you locked it in at these life expectancy tables. I want you to think about that for a second. And that's not a sales pitch. But what's going to happen is they're going to lengthen your life expectancy, which means there'll be more payments, which means the payments will be lower. I think the bargain's right now. And that's not some Johnny Appleseed agent sales pitch. That's reality. And that's how artificial intelligence is going to affect annuities and annuity lifetime income streams. I just want to give that food for thought. Let's look at some more questions. Reading. Okay, how does a contractual guaranteed payout with an income rider differ from the payout we would get by just investing in a deferred income annuity? Okay, good question. If you answered the two questions, I want lifetime income and I want it to start at a later date, something past a year, the only two products that fit are an income rider or deferred income annuity. You can also look at a QLAC, which is a deferred income annuity inside of an income rider. The reason income riders are popular is they're flexible. Okay, so there's liquidity provisions, whereas with a deferred income annuity, there's not liquidity provisions. Deferred income annuities we love. We sell a ton of them just because they're simplistic transfer risk products. The big boys, the big carriers are there. They're the ones that offer those. We love those. And we'll explain the benefits and limitations of a deferred income annuity as opposed to income rider. And I've written an owner's manual on that one as well that you can download, and you can run deferred income annuity quotes. So if you said to me, Okay, Stan the Annuity Man, we want income to start in 5 years. And by the way, you can use income riders in any type of account, IRA, non-IRA, Roth IRA, okay? Just in a Roth IRA, the income stream is going to be tax-free, all right? So, what you have to do is when you say, okay, it's 5 years from now, we're going to run, and you can do it yourself, run a deferred income annuity quote deferring for 5 years, and then we're going to run an income rider quote deferring for 5 years. The only thing I'm going to tell you to do an apples-to-apples quote is that deferred income annuity quote has to be life with cash refund or joint life with cash refund. Cash refund is the key because all income riders are what I call cash refund, meaning when your Learjet hits the mountain, whatever's left in that accumulation side. Remember I drew the line down the blank sheet of paper? The accumulation side is the death benefit. One thing I think is neat, and there's so much to cover, and I'm trying to cover it. Income riders are not covered by the state guarantee fund. So draw a line down the blank sheet of paper, index annuity over here, income riders over here. If something happened to the carrier, and by the way, I'm batting 1,000%. I look at underneath the hood of these companies, and we're typically A+ or better, unless we tell you otherwise. A+ or better on lifetime income. So the state guarantee fund only covers the accumulation value, not the income rider value. A lot of agents don't even know that, but you need to know that. So that's the difference. The question was deferred income annuity versus income rider. You got to quote them both. Currently, at the time of this taping, check the date, income riders are consistently higher than deferred income annuities. That doesn't mean you don't buy a deferred income annuity. That's part of the conversation in the free consultation. Let's take a look at this. I have an enhanced withdrawal benefit. Zeke, go ahead and pop that one up. Is that the same, similar to an income rider, just a different name? It's the same thing as an income rider. Enhanced withdrawal benefit in the income rider world, you might have been pitched something that the person said, you get the bonus and you get the 8% roll up and then you get free long-term care. Well, first of all, that's not true. The long-term care part and the 8% yield is not true either. But the long-term care part is not true because long-term care is a health insurance product, not a life insurance product. Enhanced benefit means that when you get sicker, you get your money back quicker. That's all it is. It's guaranteed issue. If you're drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels every single day and smoking, Lucky Strikes, no filters, a carton a day, it's guaranteed issue, the enhanced withdrawal benefit. But when you get sicker, you get your money back quicker, and typically they enhance that payout, meaning increase. They increase that payout typically for about a 5-year time period. Why? Because when you can't do 2 of the 6 daily functions of life, that's typically your life expectancy. I know my friend Jack, the long-term care expert, yelling at the screen, well, not always. Yeah, but average. So enhanced benefit, please never buy an income rider for the enhanced benefit, okay? And please never cash in real long-term care that you had to go through a qualification process to buy an enhanced benefit. Don't ever do that, okay? Long-term care comes in many different forms. I do have a person, if you want to go down that rabbit hole of long-term care, that's all he does. I can point you to him. But index annuity with income riders, the income riders that you're going to see on our site that we're going to show you on quotes, enhanced benefits, but that's not long-term care. Listen to me. Don't let Johnny Appleseed agents convince you otherwise because they don't know what they're talking about. Long-term care is a health insurance product. Fixed annuities issued by life insurance companies. Okay? So that's how that works. Next question. I guess I worded it wrong. I would like to see the income side and the contractual payout side to see how it differs. It's the same thing. The income rider side is the contractual payout side. Draw a line down, blank sheet of paper, index annuity over here. The cap spreads, participation rate, by the way, CD returns since 1995. And then over here, that's the income rider. Now, when you go to our site and you run the quote, okay, you're going to see, and then we use a third-party vendor because they aggregate all the carriers so we can quote all carriers. What you're going to see is the top 3, okay, on the front page, and it's going to say payable to 95. And the first question, you go, 95? What if I lived to 195? It's going to pay. They just put 95 because that's how long the grid on the second page shows. But if you live forever, getting back to the AI part of how that's going to affect lifetime income, it's going to pay. You're transferring the risk to the annuity company to pay you for as long as you are breathing, joint life as long as one of you is breathing, and when you die and your spouse is still alive, the income stream continues uninterrupted and unchanged until they pass away, and then when they pass away, whatever's left in the accumulation value is paid 100% to the beneficiary, and the evil annuity company doesn't pay a penny. I don't know the ROI on any of this until you die, and please don't use death as a strategy because you can only use it once, right? Okay, so what you're going to see is on the front page, the top three. On the second page, you're going to see a grid that shows what the income stream would be if you turned it on at specific ages. It's not going to increase, please, okay? But what it's going to show is, here's the income if you're 65. Here's the income if you're 75. Here's the income if you're 82. It's going to show that, and what you're going to see is the income's going to increase. Why? Because you're older and there's less projected payments. Okay? So that's the way the quotes are going to look when we send them to you or when you run them yourself. Okay, let's go to the next questions. Are income riders only attached to fixed or variable annuities? I believe they're being attached to other products that I don't want to discuss right now, but the vast majority, 95%, fixed and variable. But the fixed, the index annuity ones that the income riders are riding on top of that policy, those right now are consistently providing the highest contractual guarantee. Just do not fall into a sales pitch of mine increases. Yeah, because they're lowering it so far, it's going to take you forever to make it up. Okay? Next questions. Will insurance companies give you a tax chart with your income rider? The answer is no, but your CPA can. And no one in my office, even though everyone in the building, except for Zeke behind the camera because he's a marketing dude, everyone in the building, they're licensed in all 50 states because we represent all 50 states, all carriers, etc. That's the way it's supposed to be done. That's the way we do it. But they're not going to give, the carriers typically do not provide anything on the tax side, and they shouldn't. I mean, that's between you and your CPA and tax lawyer. Next question. Let's see. I live in Georgia. Good for you. When I contacted the Georgia, I guess he's talking about the Georgia Guarantee Fund, they said it had started the income. They said if I had started the income rider, they would guarantee my monthly payment. That's a whole different ballgame. Okay, the monthly payment, depending on the state that you're in, if you want to go to nolhga.com and pull up your state and get the frequently asked questions and look at that and call them, you can call them and find out. But typically they do protect the payments. I will say this about the state guarantee funds. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because it doesn't affect us, because I'm looking at the financials of the company. I'm looking, yes, I look at the ratings, but there's Standard & Poor's, AM Best, Moody's, and Fitch. We don't use Weiss. Those four we use, but I look underneath the hood, and we also look at how they handle the administrative, the paperwork. And we just recently took someone, a highly rated carrier, off of our recommendation list because they were really bad on the paperwork side. They're great on the financial side. So we're looking out for you. And if you do decide to move forward, we're going to lock in the quote and we're going to turnkey this thing for you. We're going to do everything from start to finish, the application. We're just going to update you via email on where we're at. And it's going to be a non-taxable event if it's IRA to IRA transfer or Roth to Roth. If it's non-qualified, if you already have an annuity and it makes sense to transfer it and it's in your best interest, that's called a 1035 exchange, which is also a non-taxable event. So I don't want you to get caught up on the guarantee fund, because let me get back to that. The carriers that I look at for lifetime income, we're going to marry that carrier, not M-E-R-R-Y, M-A-R-R-Y. We're going to marry that carrier for life, for as long as you're breathing. So they have to be strong. They have to back it up. And they also have to be able to back up the claim when AI changes the life expectancy tables. Okay, so I'm looking at that as well. Can they back it up? If it was a MIGA, like a CD type annuity, we're going to date the MIGA. We're going to date the MIGA for that term. We're not marrying. Zeke, I have a hard time saying that. Even though I've been married for 37 years, but I think Southerners have a hard time saying that. Marrying a MIGA carrier, we are marrying the lifetime income carrier. But state guarantee funds don't apply if you're buying quality companies. Okay, and what I've seen in my decades in the business is that annuities are confidence products. And don't think for a second that the big boys in the industry, they know that. They're not going to let some fly by night, as a good friend of mine said, Sinking Sands of Texas Inc., life insurance company, there's no such thing. They're not going to have that person take the whole industry down. There's what I call the annuity mafia in place, and I mean that nicely. That it's kind of self-regulated, even though the industry and the NAIC, the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, because fixed annuities are regulated at the state level, they work well together. Big fan of them, and it's tough. It's tough, and so there's not a lot of financial shenanigans going on. Someone asked me the other day, they go, I don't want to mention the carrier name, but it was an A++ carrier, top of the line, and they go, well, Stan, what happens when they go out of business? I'm like, hug your loved one, son, because it's over. Okay? I mean, country's over. I don't know what the heck happened, but if the A++ carriers go out of business, all you conspiracy theories out there say, well, it could happen. Then we're screwed. Okay, it's just straight up. So we're batting 1,000%. I truly believe that the life insurance industry, which issues annuities, fixed annuities, it's a strong industry. Why? Because they know when we're going to die. Property and casualty companies don't know when the hurricane's going to hit, but they know, life insurance companies know when we're going to die, and they price things accordingly. And they have numerous pricing levers they're pulling off of. They're pulling off of the life insurance that they sell, the lifetime income products they sell, the long-term bond portfolio they have, the tranches that I talked about, and then they glance at the Fed. They literally just glance at them. They don't stare at them. So if you go, I'm waiting until the Fed moves, then you've missed the point, and that's not how annuities are priced. Lifetime income is priced on life expectancy. Here we go. Next question. If you have an income rider and take out the allowed 10% free withdrawal, does that lower the income base for the future income payments? The answer is yes. Indexed annuities typically have a free withdrawal provision annually of 10%. Somehow agents sell that as a benefit. I get, it's liquidity, but that's not a benefit. You're taking your own money, okay? So if you take 10% out, let's go to the line again. If you take 10% out of your indexed annuity side, you also take 10% out of your income rider side. So yes, it's going to lower that. And remember, all annuity payments, I don't care if it's an immediate annuity, deferred income annuity, qualified longevity annuity contract, and then income riders, those are the four ways to do lifetime income. Okay, the payment is a combination of return of your principal plus interest. So what's the goal? The goal is to get to zero. If you get to zero, you're in the insurance company's pockets and they're still on the hook to pay. I have thousands of clients that their account shows zero, and they've been getting income payments for years. What do I say? There's no ROI until you die. So be careful out there if you're taking free withdrawals, because all you're doing is lowering that lifetime income number. Good question. Next question. Would you feel comfortable buying a B-rated company? I represent everybody. Okay, first of all, we represent everybody. If you see something on our feed, it's not because we're recommending them, it's because we represent everybody. You have to schedule a call, and I'm updating my recommendation list to my team all the time. That doesn't mean, if it's at the top, that doesn't mean we're recommending them. I might be saying, no, I don't like their financials. For lifetime income, would never, ever do a B-rated company. Hear me, listen to me. No. A+ or better, and you don't need a sweater. You like that, Zeke? I just made that rhyme. The point is, you're again, Zeke, I can't say it. You're going to marry the carrier for lifetime income. Okay, so they have to be solid. But yeah, annuities, all of them, MIGAs, SPIAs, DIAs, QLACs, income riders attached to index annuities, they're commodity products, meaning that there's not one that's better than the other. They change. That's the reason we look at the contractual guarantees based upon the money they want to attract and the age ranges they want to attract. Okay, so, I'm just looking. People always say, well, you like them? I like the highest contractual guarantee with a carrier that passes my sniff test as the annuity man that I recommend, that my team can recommend. That's who I like. Now, they could be called XYZ company with the turbocharged income rider X. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is that final number. I don't care about the bonus. I don't care about the roll-up rate. I don't care about any of it. I don't care if they're in Des Moines, Iowa, Minnesota, Connecticut, could care less. I care about the number. I care about the number. I care about the number. I care about the contractual guaranteed number because that's what's going to be hitting your bank account every single month. Okay? These questions are rolling in. Zeke, someone asked me the other day, how long do you go on these live events? Well, I'm 61 years old, so it really comes down to when I need to pee. Kind of get an annuity amen on that one. Zeke's like laughing, but all the old dudes on this like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm in good shape so we can go a long time. When a rider is activated, Zeke, I'm sorry about that. When a rider is activated, what is the tax status of the payments? All right, the IRS, our friends, can we just say that? They're our friends, right? Okay. It's coming out LIFO, last in, first out, gains first at ordinary income tax levels. That's as much tax advice as you're going to get from me because I'm not a CPA, would never be, God bless those people, and a tax lawyer. I told Zeke the other day, I have a good friend who's a tax lawyer. He specialized in tax. Like, that's what he specialized in law school. So that's all he was studying. I don't even understand that. I'd rather him just like analyze the palm of his hand. It'd make more sense to me. I can't imagine that. Maybe he was drinking a lot. And I can say that because I'm 19 years sober. So I know you can go down that rabbit hole. Right, Zeke? Okay. What's the tax status of the payments? We covered that. Theoretically, the rider charges would not eat into the interest. Let's talk about that. Good question. So the income rider is not a freebie. Income rider typically has a fee annually for that income rider, but guess where it's taken out of? The index annuity side. This is net. Draw a line down the middle of a blank sheet of paper, index annuity side, income rider side. The fee from the income rider is taken out of the index side. So this number is a net number. Boy, good question. I had that on my list to cover, and you covered it for me. So next question. Let's go to the next one. How does the interest rate impact annuity income payout in addition to life expectancy? Once again, it's about a 20%, 25 maybe, pricing what the Fed does, okay? And you're saying, what? That can't be. That just can't be because the Fed, I saw it on the cable news, that, listen, life insurance companies make money many ways. Life insurance products, right? Lifetime income products. They have a long-term bond portfolio, etc. Then they have the tranches, which feeds into the life expectancy, etc. And then they look at the Fed. So they glance at the Fed. Here's my visual. Here's how banks look at the Fed. Here's how annuity companies look at the Fed. It's a glance. It's just part of it, okay? Zeke, you liked that, didn't you? It's very performative. But what I want to drive home is don't say, one more time the Fed on my income rider purchase. Well, you missed it, Chester, okay? That's not and that's not a sales pitch. That's just reality, okay? Let's see what else was in there. Should we time the purchase, sorry about that, of a fixed within, no, please don't. Please don't. I'd rather you nail Jell-O to the wall and make like a pop art or something like that. It'd make more sense. You cannot time it, and with it being 20% of the pricing, it makes no sense. Give you an example. The last time the Fed lowered rates, what happened? Well, I'm sure that annuity companies lowered rates too. Nope. The vast majority of them either held exactly where they were and some raised the rate. Okay? There's no rhyme or reason. We don't know what, if they're looking for your age range, they're going to aggressively quote to attract you. Okay? They're just going to. Think of your age range and your wife's age range in a football stadium, a big one, Zeke, a big football stadium, with everybody at your same age range. And let's just say it's full. Then in a quoting world, that annuity company is, because it's full, they don't need any more, there's no more seats. But let's just say the upper bowl is empty, okay? Then they're going to aggressively quote to fill the upper bowl. How about that that's a kind of a sports analogy to a tranche, but I hope that makes sense to you. That's the reason quotes change like a gallon of milk. You know, great story. I had a person the other day called one of my team members and say, we ran income rider quotes about 2 months ago. Let's go ahead and move forward with that, son. Well, shoot, that was 2 months ago. Now they're not even in the top 10. So just understand, annuities all are commodity products. Not one's better than the other. It all comes down to the highest contractual guarantee and the claims paying ability, of which I'm going to tell you and recommend. And remember, we're going to date fixed rate annuities, MIGAs. We're going to marry, Zeke, we're going to marry lifetime income. Okay, so that's got to be A+ or better. Don't need a sweat. Now, there might be an occasion I might say, yeah, that A company there, I see good things financially. We might go there, but that's my call. Okay, that's my call when I do that. All right. Here's a great one. Hit this one. See, not enough characters ask a full question. I thought you were talking about me and all my split personalities. If you realize, I realize if you live long enough, it's all income, even in a non-qualified annuity. It's income whether you live 2 days or 200 years. I'm not sure I understand that. Email me at stan@theannuityman.com if you need clarification. But non-qualified annuity, IRA annuity, Roth IRA annuity, doesn't matter. The contractual guarantees are the same. The only difference is the taxation of the income stream. Got it? Good. All right. Next, boy, Zeke, we're rolling. As I told Zeke yesterday, I'm like butter. I'm on a roll. It took him he's like a DJ. It took him 7 seconds to figure that out. But he's from Hawaii, so he drinks that Java juice. I don't know what he's doing over there. Is there such a thing as a 1035 exchange from a whole life policy to some form of annuities? The answer is yes. Here are the rules. You can transfer from life insurance to annuity, but you can't transfer from annuity to life insurance. You're saying, wait a minute, Stan, didn't you just say that life insurance companies issue annuities? The answer is yes, Chester. I did say that, but that's the rule. So if you have a cash value in a life insurance policy, universal life, whole life, index universal, whatever, and you say, well, what am I doing with that cash value in there? And you want to transfer it, we can do that. It's a 1035 exchange. 1035 is the IRS chapter. If you're so bored and have no life like I do, you can go to the IRS code, pull up 1035, and it says that's going to be a non-taxable event. My staff will handle that start to finish. I have a group in my office in Las Vegas, and they're called the Policy Delivery and Application Team. And I know this is hard for me to believe, but it's true. They actually like the paperwork, and they're good at it. And so they're going to take you from start to finish. You just got to get on an application call, spend 20 minutes, and then sit back, smoke the stogie, and just check your email. Okay? We're going to take it from start to finish. Turnkey retirement, Zeke. You know what I'm saying? All right. Next question. Just ran a quote on your site, Income Rider. The first one is rated B, and we wouldn't recommend it. How about that? Great example. Ran the quote on my site, popped up B, wouldn't recommend it. I'll give you another one that's even better. You're going to see some of them there that are A-rated or A+ rated, and they have what's called teaser rates, meaning that 99% of all income riders, the income's never going to change for as long as you're breathing. But we have some aggressive carriers out there that have what I call teaser rates, meaning that after year 10, they lower. There's only a couple of them. We're trying to figure out legally through my bevy of lawyers on how to put that on our site without making those carriers mad. We're in the process of that. But right now, what's going to happen, just like in this situation, you do the free consultation call, and my expert gets on there and says, we're not recommending that company. Or because it's B-rated, or we're not recommending that company because it's A-rated, but they lower the payment after a specific period of time. Now, you might say to me, I don't care. I don't care if it lowers because I probably ain't going to live that long anyway. Okay, then we can discuss it, but we're going to be very transparent about everything. You're never, ever going to be surprised with what you buy from us or what you decide to buy. Because we're the place where people purchase annuities. They're not sold, they're purchased, meaning you're going to make your decision on your terms and your time frame. You don't believe me, try us. And if you're a client out there, you're going, yeah, they're pretty low key. That's because, like, when I go to a car lot, I don't want Johnny Appleseed following me around going, you like that one? You like that one? You like that color? Leave me alone. We're going to leave you alone. We're going to give you enough information to make a good decision on your terms and on your time frame. Here's one that someone emailed to me, Zeke. I'm going to just line the rest of them up. One of the things that one of the questions is there any way to get a guaranteed income table for start years of 1 through 10 on an income rider without requesting illustrations? The answer is yes. That's that second page of the quote that you'll see. It's going to show you what the income stream is going to be if you turned on the income stream at a certain age. Okay, so but if we get to close to the finish line, my team's going to send you that illustration of that carrier that you're focused in on, just to get you comfortable with it. And if you say, you know what, I need to read the policy, we can send you a specimen policy. Just a heads up, it's not going to have your name, it's not going to have the dollar amount, but it's going to have all the verbiage if you want to do that and go down that rabbit hole. We respect it. Hey, it's your money, okay? And by the way, if anyone ever says, well, you need to move on this pretty soon because that bonus is going away, that person is a flat-out idiot. His mama doesn't think he's an idiot, but in this situation, his mama thinks he's smart. He's just trying to get a sale. Upfront bonuses, once again, just an overall part of the contractual guarantee, so do not put any weight on it. And there's never an urgency to buy an annuity. The urgency is to do what we're doing right now, or to have the free consultation call with us, or to go to my site and run quotes, or to go to my site and download the books, or to go down the rabbit hole and watch 103 videos. Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that, Zeke? The other question was, are roll-up rates and payout tables available from carriers? Once again, roll-up rates are a joke. Don't put any weight on that. It's all about what the number is. Not the roll-up rate, it's the number. So bonus, bah, roll-up rate, bah, payout. That's where the game's played. Well, Stan, then if that's where the game's played, when I went to that good Ruth Chris steak dinner where I had a filet mignon, medium rare. I love medium rare filet mignons. That's filet mignons, by the way. Filet mignon in the South. Why didn't they talk about the payout rate? Because it's not sexy. It's not sexy like I am, Zeke. Like I'm just natural. It's natural, Zeke. The reason they don't do it is, it's boring. Annuities are boring. Contractual guarantees are boring. Boring is good. Boring is contractual. If it sounds too good to be true, it is every single time, period. Here's another question, Zeke. We'll get back to the front that was emailed in to me. People do that. I mean, they're proactive. They must be engineers, Zeke. I didn't take those math classes. I was told that there are typically different income rider versions offered by each carrier. Some vary by years, other by product. Each version has its own contractual roll-up and payout grid. Assuming this is true, then knowing the income rider version is important. How can you find blah, 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 blah? Who cares? It's about the number. It's about the final payout number. It's about the contractual guarantee. Do not get distracted. Agents want you to be distracted. Listen, annuity contracts are issued by life insurance companies, and that contract is between you and the life insurance company. That income rider contract is between you and the life insurance company. Shouldn't you make your decision on the contractual guarantee if that's the contract? Not some hypothetical, theoretical, back-tested, unicorns chasing the butterflies return scenario that never comes true. That's not guaranteed. If you want market returns, don't buy an annuity. Let me say it again. If you want market returns, do not buy an annuity. If the sales pitch you hear was so good, Goldman Sachs would buy them. They're not buying them, okay? Morgan Stanley, my old employer, would buy them. They're not buying them. So income riders, that's the contractual guarantee of the policy. That's what we're looking at, okay? Let's go back to the internet question, Zeke. Let's do that. How do you decide what company rating is too dicey? Why would anyone want to B or lower? Well, first of all, for lifetime income, we're never going to do that. It's going to be A or higher for lifetime income. Period. End of story. Johnny Appleseed, local agent, can sell you the B or the B plus and retain the lawyer. Okay? We're not going to do that. Remember, we're going to marry the lifetime income. We're going to show all quotes to show you what the universe is quoting. And then we're going to recommend the ones that I deem appropriate. And I do have some smart people, retired Morgan Stanley Merrill Lynch friends, that help me look underneath the hood of these carriers, and we make that decision typically on a bi-weekly basis. We're always looking underneath the hood, okay? But remember, lifetime income, we're going to marry, I know it's tough, we're going to marry the carrier, okay? Your income rider calculator results page states single life only, no beneficiary. First of all, I don't know where you are, so you need to contact me, stan@theannuityman.com, because you can put in single life, joint life, and then and understand if it's an income rider, 100% of the money is going to go to whoever you list as the beneficiary. The beneficiary listing takes place during the application process. Okay? So here's one. Here's the layup, Zeke. What is a good annuity with a long-term care rider? Once again, income riders attached to fixed annuities are a life insurance product. Long-term care is a health insurance product. There's no long-term care, health insurance on top of a fixed annuity. Now, there are what's called long-term care annuities as a health insurance product. I'd be more than happy to refer you to that person solely that we use that only does long-term care. He is a specialist and a personal friend of mine and is like me, just a straight shooter. Been doing it a long time, but there is no best. Once again, in the annuity world, there is no best. It's the highest contractual guarantee at that specific time that you lock in, period. If the performance on the index side exceeds the value of the income base, does the income rider guarantee the increase of the income base? First of all, let's just get something straight. That's never going to happen. Listen to me. Listen. I need you to listen. It's never going to happen. I know you say, well, Johnny Appleseed showed me 10 years ago that it happened. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. All right? I don't even know what to say other than if you think that your indexed annuity is going to just beautifully increase as it increases, then you're, as they say in Las Vegas, the sucker at the table, the rube at the table. Okay? Once again, if they promise don't look at these products, but let's just say you say, Stan, I'll do what I want to. Like my young daughter used to say, I'll do what I want to. Okay, great. If you want to buy one of those dreams, you're going to own the contractual realities if you buy the dream. But what they do is here's the payment for the index annuity that increases the income stream. Here's where that starts. Here's the similar income rider without the increase. For people listening to this, the one with the increase is below my chin. The other one is above my head. They don't give that away. Please don't fall for the sales pitch. Please. And if you say, I'm going to do it myself, I'm going to do what I want. Well, then do me a favor. Write down exactly how you think the annuity works as it was pitched to you. Sign and date it, and then turn that page around and have that agent sign and date it. That pen will weigh 1,000 pounds, meaning that they own it. They own that sales pitch. And they got to make up the difference for all those good little goodies they were pushing. We don't push goodies. Annuities are Armageddon strategies. You look at the contractual guarantees. That's it, period. Okay? And I hate to get a little emotional about that and, as they say, angry. But too many people, hundreds of people a month call me and say, well, I wish I'd have listened to you because you're right. I own the contractual reality. Well, it's too late now, Chester. It's too late. You're not going to find the product your neighbor, boy, he hadn't found it, but I found it. Upfront bonus, market upside with no downside, long-term care rider. Come on, man. Come on. You're better than that. All right? Next. What annuity do you own? That's a good question. I drink the Kool-Aid, as they say. I go by the Warren Buffett rules. He has 2 rules. God bless him, he just retired. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. Okay? So everything that I own is principal protected. Okay? So let's just go through those. You have CDs, you have money markets, AAA municipal bonds, treasuries, fixed annuities. That's my portfolio right there. That's it. You got boring. I bet you when you go to cocktail parties, you feel left out in this bull market. No, I'm okay with doing bunt singles. And the lifetime income that I've set up is for my lovely wife, Christina, of 37 years, because she's going to outlive me. And I've also set up lifetime income streams for my 2 daughters so that in case Social Security isn't around, they're going to have a lifetime income stream payment. Those are the annuities I own. I drink the Kool-Aid. I believe in what we're doing here. You mean to tell me, Stan, you're not in the market whatsoever? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. And maybe I missed the bull market, I missed Bitcoin, I missed it all. But you know what I didn't? I don't miss any of the other stuff. Okay, all the ups and downs. And I still haven't figured out, us commoners can trade 9:30 to 4, but institutions can trade 24/7, 365. Please, someone tell me how that's fair. Because in essence, what you're doing is you're trying to surf beside a cruise ship. Sometimes you can catch that wave, but a lot of times you're going to get sucked under the boat. Period. Now, that doesn't mean I'm against the stock market. Go for it, man. Go for it, player. If you have a good advisor, if you do it yourself, do it yourself. I don't care. Okay? All I'm going to tell you is when you get to chapter 2, I don't do retirement. Chapter 2 of your life is about you. When you're in chapter 2, you need to de-risk that portfolio. You need to build that income floor. You need to protect the principal. You need to think about legacy. Nod your head. Don't be master of the universe. And I know most of you out there, kind of like me, my wife has put up with me, bless her heart. She's a martyr, for goodness sakes. Okay? But she doesn't know anything or care anything about the money side. Everything's set up for her contractually. She doesn't have to care. And I take her out for dinner every year and go, okay, here's where everything's at. Here's the annuities we own. Here's how it works. Here's the life insurance policies. Everything's contractual. And then we have our filet mignons and we have a nice time. All right? So I drink the Kool-Aid. I believe in contractual guarantees. And not only that, I believe in the annuity industry from a stability standpoint in a chaotic world. All right? If a non-qualified annuity is a non-qualified annuity, some is ROP, which means return of premium, and some is interest, taxable. Question is, how do the payments get appointed, blah, blah, blah. What they're talking about in this question is a single premium immediate annuity and a deferred income annuity and a non-qualified non-IRA account. Remember, with any lifetime income stream, the payment is a combination of return of principal plus interest in a non-IRA setting with SPIAs and DIAs. Again, you can run those quotes and get those books, etc. We're going to show in the quote what part is taxable and what part is principal. And you only have to pay taxes on that interest part. Okay, that's the taxable part. All right. Next question. I'm not going to mention that. No, I'm not going to mention that now. I'm not going to do that. I don't mention carrier names, even though we represent them all. They don't pay me to do that. If they paid me that advertising fee, I would do that. Can you delay the quoted start date of an income rider payout after the contract is issued? And will that increase the payout? Very good question, Rob. So you buy the income rider, you go into the contract with my team and say, okay, we're going to turn the income on in 7 years. And the guarantee is going to turn on in 7 years. Rob's question is, my team's going to be in touch right before that income turn on time. Okay. What if Rob says, you know what? Let's start at 3 more. Let's defer it another 3 years. Can I do that? Yes, you can do that. And how does it affect the payment? Remember, older you are, the higher the payment. It works the reverse too. Let's say Rob said, yeah, let's turn on 7 years, and then something happened. He goes, we got to turn it on in 5. We can do that too, but again, the younger you are, the lower the payment. It's just going to lower the guarantee. The guarantees are still in place, but yes, with income riders, you can change it, which is good. It's flexible. Let me talk about flexibility, another thing too. With the index annuity, with the income rider structure, okay, the good news is you can have the income rider and then get to that date and say, you know what? Things have changed. Just send me all the money from that index annuity side, the accumulation value side. I don't want to do it anymore. You can pivot out of it. That's a good thing. Okay? So there are some, as compared to, say, a deferred income annuity that's like ripping the knob off a waterfall, so income riders are flexible. So you're going to be able to, if life changes, you can change around that. Here's one. Can you review my current income rider annuity? Can changes be made? I can review it, but if you've bought it, you own it. Just because most of the index annuities with income riders, those are long-term contracts, 7-year or 10-year contracts. So the surrender charges don't make any sense. And please, please, please don't have some idiot say, well, just transfer to mine and the upfront bonus will cover any surrender charges. First of all, they could lose their license if they're doing that, which means it's the wrong thing to do, which means it doesn't make any sense. Also, too, it's not real money. Remember? Okay? So, can changes be made? No. Can you help to keep MIGAs from automatically renewing? Absolutely. We have in my building, there's 6 divisions. I'm not going to go through all the divisions. One of the divisions is the MIGA renewal team, and we manage a lot, billion plus, in MIGA renewals, and we are fully automated. We will be in touch before, during that window of time to where you can make a decision whether you want to, with your MIGA, we're talking about MIGAs now, whether you want to transfer it to another one or surrender it or whatever you want to do. So I have a team in place. We have protocols in place. You'd love it. If you're a MIGA client of ours, you know that. You're hearing from us. So here we go. A chicken dinner agent was pushing a Roth conversion into an indexed annuity. Let me stop right there. I did a video recently on this Roth stuff. That's the new hot thing in the annuity industry to create commissions. You do not need an indexed annuity to do a Roth conversion. Somehow, in our world, in my world, in the annuity, well, to do a Roth conversion, you probably need to use an indexed annuity. No, you're just buying the agent a Ferrari. Don't do that. You don't have to do that. I'm not a big fan of Roths anyway. If you have one, fine. But the point is, you don't need an indexed annuity to do that. He said you could take the 20% bonus, pay the income taxes, and convert it. That's not valid. I don't even want to go into it. It's not the way that that's being pitched right there, and run it by your CPA and they'll bring the vomit bag from the airplane. It's not going to work. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it is every single time. But this is what the carriers and a lot of the middleman agencies, the SMO, FMOs, what we call in our business, they're pushing their agents to do. So why would they do that, Stan the Annuity Man? Because most of the agents out there sell within a 30-mile radius of where they live, and nothing wrong with that at all. Not everybody can be Stan the Annuity Man, and licensed in all 50 states and do business like we do. Okay, but they have a limited amount of clients. But in order to take a limited amount of clients and create more commissions, my opinion only, this is just me, I could be wrong, they're going to take the annuities they have and flip them into Roths to another annuity to create another commission. Hope I'm wrong about that. Don't think I am. Okay? I'm not going to mention please don't, when you ask a question, please do not put the carrier name in there because I will not take the question. Okay? Period. There's a reason for that. To talk about an annuity company on the internet like this, I need approval from them to mention their name. I know you're saying, well, this guy on the internet, he's talking about, well, he's going to get a call. Somebody's going to call him. You can't do that, all right? Plus the other thing, too, I don't care. I don't care what the name is. It's about the number. I care what the number is. That's all that you should care about, too, all right? If you start the income rider payment, can you stop it? Yes. And you can restart it, but the payment doesn't change. So think of income rider payments. You start it, think of it as a light switch. You can turn the light switch off, okay? But when you turn it back on, it's at the same exact level. There's not going to be some ramped up increase. Anyone tells you otherwise, they're not up to speed, okay? So the question is, why would I do that, Stan? Why would I ever do that, Stan? Well, think about this. Think about Paul the politician stands up and goes, you know what? All you evil rich people that have annuities with income riders, we're going to tax those income riders at 95% because it's not fair to everyone else. What are we going to do? We're going to shut them off until Paul gets voted out, and then reality brings it back down, and we'll shut them back on. Will that ever happen? Hope not. But that's the scenario. Or let's just say this. Let's just say you are getting the income stream, and for whatever reason, something happened ancillary to the income rider that popped you into a different tax bracket. and you got to do some things and finagling to get back down in that tax bracket, we can shut the income rider off. Okay, so that is a good question. It does come up sometimes. What percent of your portfolio should be used in annuities? This is a good one right here. What the National Association of Insurance Commissioners suggests is when you look at your investable assets, and that's not your house, car, guitar, okay? It's just not. It's investable assets. They suggest no more than 50%. Can we get more than that? Yes, you got to tell us why, and we'll go to bat for you. And then the person says, what do you put your money in? You know, it's around, I'm around 50% in annuities, and the rest in those other really safe, boring products, okay? So, you know, I drink that Kool-Aid as well. So, who takes over for Stan when Stan goes fishing? Hey, that's a good, you know what's funny about that? Is I just had a morning meeting with my team. I'm in the Vegas office this week. And I typically live in Florida, so I go back and forth. You're saying, Stan, that's the dumbest commute I've ever heard. You're right. You're right about that. But the reason we're open in Las Vegas is we're open from 5:30 in the morning to 5:30 in the afternoon Pacific, which for all of you out there on the East Coast means 8:30 to 8:30, and then 9 to 5 on Eastern time on Saturday. We're open so that we can be available to you around your schedule instead of you having to adjust your schedule. What happens to me? I am very happy to announce that I just hired a family member that is so overqualified to take over for me that it's scary, but he's a good person and a member of the family. And we, you know, it's like they say, you know, Jimmy Dean's sausage, you know, Jimmy Dean's been dead for 15 years, but they sell a heck of a lot of sausage. When my Learjet hits the mountain, we do have a continuation plan in place with a very smart person that has forgotten more than I'll ever know that is going to take over for me. But as long as I'm breathing, I'm going to be doing these videos. I'm going to be telling the truth. I'm going to be suffocating these bad sales pitches out there and flooding the zone with factual information. Thanks for that question. Stan don't fish, he just sells annuity. There is something to that, Zeke. You're 61 years old. You don't smoke or drink. You've been married 37 years. Life's pretty boring. I don't have a lot of hobbies. You know, my hobbies is I do fly around the country occasionally and go see a rock concert, and I stand in the back and then have all the young kids say, are you the DEA? Are you FBI? Are you with drug enforcement? No, I'm just an old geezer fan. So, you know, that's what I do on the side. But I live and breathe this stuff, and I'm on a mission to really grow our footprint. I mean, we're the gorilla in the room now. I want to be the King Kong. I want the industry to start following what I'm doing. A lot of people are right now. A lot of people are copying me. That's another story. Contractual guarantees only. If the industry would just say, you know what, we're just going to do contractual guarantees only, and we're not going to sell the dream, business would triple. Now, all of them go, I don't believe that, Stan. I've talked to them. They go, I don't think that. Well, can you try it? Maybe for a year? I mean, but we're going to drag them across the finish line, to say the least. You know, we've gone an hour, Zeke, but we'll take some more questions. Because you know why, Zeke? You know why? I don't have to pee. There it is, as they say, right? Here we go. What's the shortest holding period for annuity income rider? Are there shorter than 5 years? Yes, and you know I'm glad you brought that up because I was wanting to cover that. We get a lot of calls where you know we're typically the two questions: what do you want the money contractually to do? When do you want the contractual guarantees to happen? Start. If someone says we want income to start like in a year, that's typically 99% of the time a single premium immediate annuity is going to provide the highest contractual guaranteed number. That 1% of the time, it could be an income rider, but a lot of Johnny Appleseed agents are out there going, no, don't buy an immediate annuity, just buy an income rider and turn it on. Well, that only makes sense if that's the highest contractual guaranteed number, period. Now, do we run those comparisons? Sure we do. We're running them all the time, and sometimes there's anomalies out there, and we'll say, do you want the immediate annuity or do you want the income rider? But typically, most income riders require you to wait 1 year. But there are some that will allow you to turn it on immediately. Typically, they're not competitive at all with immediate annuities. But don't let Johnny Appleseed agent out there say, you just need to buy the index annuity with the income rider and then turn it on. No, Okay. Again, it's all about the highest contractual guaranteed number. And let's just say we run that quote and the income rider is the highest, is the lunar solar annuity eclipse. We'll explain it to you, and then it's your decision. We're not going to press you. So are single or joint annuities better? Well, let's talk about that. Look at it from the life insurance companies. The single life policy is going to pay higher because there's only one life covered. Joint life is going to pay lower because there's two lives covered. I'm going to encourage all of you men out there that the wives have put up with you, like the lovely Christine has put up with me. Please do joint life. Please don't try to thread the needle. She needs to leave your funeral in the limousine knowing that that income stream on that joint life income rider is going to continue uninterrupted and unchanged. Now, she's going to cry for about a mile. But once she passes that bank where the income rider money's going into, she'll just like, I did love him, but the income rider payment's going to continue. Don't thread the needle. Don't try to be Gordon Gekko. These are contracts. You can't beat them. I know you're out there. I can beat them. I'll look into it. I'll find that loophole. No, you won't. I'd rather you do something fruitful, like look at the palm of your hand and then count the lines. That would be better than you trying to find a loophole. Okay? Because actuaries, when they let them out of the closet annuity companies, I mean, they're smart people. Okay, there's not many loopholes. I've only seen 2 loopholes in my career. And yes, we did hammer both of those contractually, but you don't see them a lot. But am I looking? Yeah, and if I find them, you'll hear about it. All right? A couple more questions, Zeke, and then I think we're going to call it a wrap. All right? When purchasing a fixed income annuity, I'll say index, whatever, should you buy the one with an option of an annual inflation adjustment or not? No! I've covered that. You might have got in late. If the agent is telling you, mine increases with inflation every time that index goes up, they're severely lowering the initial payout when you start. You're not beating the system. You're better off getting the highest payment, static, and then filling in the gap for inflation with the SPIA. There is not a product on the planet in the annuity world that addresses inflation. Am I clear? Stop looking for it because someone's going to sell it to you. And then you're going to comment and go, well, he said it was going to increase, but it ain't increased for 3 years. You think, Chester? Okay. I think one more. What do you think, Zeke? One more question. Here we go. And before I take the question, stan@theannuityman.com. I know you're saying there's no way you check all those emails. I'm telling you, I have no life. I do. I actually do. Might take me a day or so because I get 500 to 600 a day. But if you send me an email, I'll get to it. I'll answer it personally. It won't be some assistant. I'll answer it. My wife's like, thank goodness. I mean, she doesn't have to talk to me. All right, let's do one more question. Stan, you're the best. I love that. I really like that. Tell my wife that, if you don't mind. I'll give you... No. Listen, I try, man. I'm not perfect, but as my grandfather told me a long time ago, smart man worked in the mills of North Carolina. Not an educated man, but a smart man. You know what I mean? He told me this, and this is our business model. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Think about that. That's what we do here. I'm not some financial genius. I just realized that contractual guarantees matter, and I grew up without money. So I want you to not lose money. That's my goal. Here's the last question, Zeke. Oh, here's another one, Zeke. Crystal clear, Stan. I mean, is that it? I mean, that's good. Here's a question that was emailed to me. I'll just do the one from me, Zeke. And the question was, how long does the process take? Like if you said, okay, I shopped the income riders. I like this one. I had a conversation with your team. I like it. We locked it in. How long does it take? First of all, we lock in the guarantee so you're not swinging in the breeze. We're locking in that number, okay? And then it typically takes about 2 weeks start to finish. Whether it's IRA to IRA, Roth to Roth, non-qualified, it doesn't matter. My team's the best. We're good at it. We've done it a lot of times. Tens of thousands of times. We've got bunches of clients. But we'd love to have you as a client. But if you're not going to be a client, that's fine too. Remember, you can send me an email, Stan at the Annuity Man, if you want this beautiful hat. Zeke, that's beautiful, isn't it? Carolina Blue, because I grew up in North Carolina, and I did play a little bit of college basketball long time ago. But I appreciate you joining me. We're going to do this again next month, live event. Check your email. We're going to announce what we're going to do and what it's going to be on. But this is the year of lifetime income, 2026, celebrating the year of lifetime income. Lifetime income is a good thing. Why? Because it's lifetime income. My name is Stan the Annuity Man. See you next time.